Yo, what is up, you guys? It's your boy Avexys. In this video right here, I'm about to give you 5 fire tips that are gonna make your gameplay jump tremendously in the smallest amount of time. Alright, yes, you will have to practice regardless because that's just a given tip off rip, but there's also a way how to practice. Alright, so to start this off, I will be sharing with you guys that I am back on Metafy doing coaching sessions. So if you guys want to play ranked with me, want me to coach you, I have 30-minute sessions, hour-long sessions, all types of things, VOD reviews, ranked control, all types of things. So if you guys are interested in that, yes, it is a fee for that. Like, I do charge for it. I have lowered my prices. Mine used to be a little outrageous because I was competing at the time. I didn't really have much time to do this. But now that I am free of competing straight from Gears of War and streaming so often, I have way more time to put into Metafy. So if you guys are down to become one of my prodigy, like genius students, all right, I will turn all of you into absolute animals at Gears, and by Gear 6 you will literally be damn near on a pro level guaranteed. I promise. At least gunny wise. All right, game sense for different rank game modes, that comes with a different type of knowledge. All right, but gunny wise, Nasher wise, I can get you guys up there for sure, guaranteed. All right, so make sure you guys come to my Metafy website and you guys can check out anything you guys need. Message me on there for available times, anything, and book a session off rip. So other than that, let's make sure you guys comment, subscribe for your boy, and let's get straight to these tips. All right, to get this started, I will say the number one thing that I will never stop preaching to you guys, and if you watch my videos often, you know I often complain about this a lot, even when I mess this up myself. The number one rule is to hold your shot off rip. Trigger discipline is at its highest when it comes to playing Gears of War because you are playing with a weapon that takes only one shot to kill. Alright, so being in and out of those distances that do a lot of damage and can actually get you one shot killed matters so much, to the point where you literally cannot shoot somebody if you're just within this range and you know you can close the distance between your next shot. If you have that ability every single time, you want to close that distance with your next shot so you can get awarded with the one shot kill. Other than that, wasting your shot will often get you walked up on or up 8, or no matter, like you're holding cover or playing in the open. So the number one thing I will always say first is hold your shot. I will show you examples of it right here of me holding my shots, and it makes getting kills so much easier. You don't have to put in as much work. You just simply out time your opponent. And the next thing that I have that is extremely big, that a lot of people overlook when they're trying to go for those cool style points, from having flashy movement, a great angle, cancel, whatever type of bounce you're using, whatever type of playstyle you have, the easiest thing that is always forgotten is your screen centering. Alright, now what this means is, if you guys notice right now, what most people do that play on the single stick settings, or if they even play on the regular default settings, after every move you guys will probably look a little bit lower on your screen because you feel like you see more that way, and that it feels better movement wise. All right, now the truth is that actually hinders your performance when it comes to aiming, and that's because if somebody is directly in your point of view, it takes way more distance to move your joystick directly to their body instead of if your screen was already centered. The thing that you want to minimize the most is the amount of moves you have to do with the joystick in order to have aim, because that will actually reduce your accuracy because you have to drag it further distance, you have to apply more pressure, all of the above. So if you guys actually want to have cleaner reaction shots, cleaner shots while you're wall bouncing, centering your screen will be the first place to start as well, because that the mid torso area is the biggest part of the hitbox for your characters, and it's visually also easy to see. Like you see, like his, you could honestly shoot between Hoffman's legs, but you cannot shoot between the middle of his chest. So if you do get up close, having your screen centered to that mid body section is going to be the easiest way to get those hard full spread shots and the easiest one shots. Now this is something that you guys probably wouldn't factor into the aim category because you might overthink it. All right, yes, using your right stick, using your left stick, that's cool, right? You know what I mean? You can walk into your shots, you can, you know, drag your shots, whatever your style is for shooting, like aiming. That is all preference. You don't have to just only track people, only flick your shots, anything like that. Okay, that is just based on your muscle memory and how you perceive like the situation, how you perceive aiming. All right, and all of those ways are actually fine. Every single way is fine as long as you develop muscle memory over time to get your aim better. So with that being said, because your aim is not always the hardest part of the situation, you have to consider your positioning. The easier your position is, the easier you're gonna have shots. All right, if you position yourself better, you're gonna be in a situation where people are either having to push you, you have a map control advantage, maybe you have them stunned or anything like above. Anytime you have an advantage, that's because most likely your position was better and the way you executed the situation is just better in general. All right, so if you do have like a huge map advantage, like maybe you have like an uphill line of sight on the person, or maybe you have, you know, a lot of cover you can play into while the person in front of you can't. You really want to consider your positioning to how much pressure you're putting on yourself. You know what I mean? When you're actually gonna have to take these like hard shots, you don't want to always be full red, running in the middle of the open, getting lancered down, because that's gonna give you, like, you know, the time and probably to get 1 or 2 good shots out at most. You have to really make those count. So when that actually does come in play, do your best and try to stay as calm as possible throughout playing and really understand every single move you're making on the map. If you force yourself to really assess the situation before you make every single plan you do, you will actually become a way smarter Gears player, and your aim will show for itself because everything feels so much easier. The next tip I have for you guys is the fact that you do not want to constantly keep changing your sensitivity. Your sensitivity is very, very important when playing the game, and it's literally what your muscle memory is embedded to, okay? You do not want to constantly mess up your muscle memory and have to keep on taking those decent average 2 weeks to get used to a new sensitivity. Yes, having a faster sense may probably feel better for your movement, but it does not make your movement faster in one way at all. The only thing you gain from that is from being able to turn your screen faster. You still slide the same way, you still have the same type of movement, your animations all stay the same, but you do not move faster. The only thing you're doing is being able to turn your camera. What I would recommend personally is playing on a slower sense. If you notice, when all the pros are playing this game, the slower sense was actually way more dominant. Right now, I'm currently on the 22 sensitivity across all 3, look, target, and zoom. I also play with 0 outer dead zone because that makes the range that your stick is being registered a lot less effective. Okay, the higher you put this, that means when you push the outer part of your stick is registered more so inwards. I hope that doesn't sound too confusing, but if you guys can paint a picture of what I mean in your head, that would be great. All right, and inner dead zone is the middle of your joystick, so exactly the way it's sitting right now, it would not be registered. All right, the more you put it lower, there's like a tiny little circle of registration that you have to move it to before your aim is actually starting to become registered. So for example, think of it as like, okay, this is making my screen move more with like such a slight bit of movement. And watch, if I aim this, I'm gonna do the same amount of pressure on the same joystick. I'm gonna put this all the way up. It didn't even move at first. I had to put way more pressure. Yeah, this doesn't even move off the same amount of pressure because the center of my joystick takes way more pressure to move in that direction before it actually begins to register. So now it takes a lot more pressure to the right side of my stick to make it start moving again. It's very, very important. All right, you don't want to have your inner dead zone way too high because that will directly affect your aim most of the time. Most games, if you've ever played any other controller shooters, then you would know that no dead zone is usually the way for your inner dead zone. So with that being said, the next tip and the final tip for you guys, I can always say, is practice makes better. I'm not gonna say practice makes perfect because there is no such thing as perfection. No matter how good you get, you're always gonna make small errors, and you have to let yourself just learn from them. If there's just aim mistakes are gonna happen no matter how good you get. You are still human at the end of the day. So allow yourself time and patience to actually become better, and just keep on putting in the work, and you will actually see the results within small amounts of time. It doesn't even take long either. Just put in the time. Make sure you take every single one of these points into account when you are playing the game, and you will notice almost instantaneous improvement. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, make sure you comment, like, subscribe for your boy, turn on those post notifications, follow me on Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, all of the above. All right, and I will see you guys later. And I love you guys. Happy holidays again if you guys are watching during that time. Peace.